All right. Just let me make a few more checks and then we will start the stream. So welcome everybody just tuning in. This is kind of a test stream to test out some new equipment that I've got, but hope you're enjoying your day and we'll be starting in a few minutes. So just hold tight and we will get to the diecast reviews shortly. All right, looks like everything is good to go. So welcome everybody to today's stream. Let me just switch over. There we go. So welcome everybody to today's Diecast Review Live. I am your host, Ultimate Diecast Review, and today I will be trying something new today. So this is a subathon where every single subscriber gained during the stream will be an extra diecast reviewed. So, as you can see here, this is the first car that I will be showing off today. Figured why not we mix it up a little bit, so I decided to add in a Disney Cars figure. So, oops, this is a, hold on, let me focus in. Alright, this is a official, as I made a short on this yesterday, but Disney and NASCAR famously made a collaborate, or not famously, but they made a collaboration back in 2021 to make actual NASCAR drivers into Disney Cars characters. And as some of you may know, that some of these characters actually became real characters in the 2017 Cars 3 movie, such as Chase Elliott was one of them, Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace, and Daniel Suarez were the four drivers. But about 4 years later, Disney and NASCAR once again partner up, and they would release more of these characters, such as this one. And this is William Byrev, which is a parody, technically, of William Byron. So, here we have the William Byron Disney Cars figure. And honestly, this is actually pretty cool. I love that they created these specific cars to recreate iconic moments, or the sport's rising drivers and most iconic drivers of this generation. So this is the number 24 of William Byron. The sponsor here is Shifty, which, honestly, I don't know what this is a parody of. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's Exalta, because that's if I remember correctly, Exalta is a paint company. But I really like the colors on this. Red and gold. Like a dark maroonish color with a gold, like a gold kind of lightning bolt here. Let me zoom in. There you go. So it's kind of looks really cool, honestly. I love the colors on this thing. I really like how they kind of integrated some of the designs that have actually happened in real life onto these cars. Like yesterday, I made a short about a Joey Logano one of these that was sponsored by Joey Logano. So really cool to see these, honestly, in person, and glad they ended up making them. So if anybody knows what kind of sponsor this is supposed to be a parody of, then please feel free to drop it in the chat. But honestly, I really like this car. I noticed how they put the number forward on this, which number placement on these is kind of weird, honestly, because some of the times they put it here on the door, sometimes they do this, but the number on the roof is also really weird. So really like this car, honestly. Glad that they did end up doing this collaboration. I think I found this at Walmart, if I remember correctly, but here's some of the cars that are in here. As you can see, there's actually an Austin Dillon one of those, the number 3 here. Let me zoom in. If I can try and get the camera to focus in, it's gonna be, there we go. So that's the Austin Dillon version of this car. Then down here you see Mater Jackson Storm and Lightning McQueen, which, yeah, they kind of already made multiple of those already. But honestly, really cool car. Glad that Disney and NASCAR decided to collaborate once again after all of these years. And pretty cool to have in the collection. Alright, so next up on the list, this is kind of a 2-for-1 special, actually. So, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream once again. And this is a subathon, so every subscriber that I gain during this stream, I will be adding an extra car to the list that I will be reviewing today. So this one is a kind of a 2-for-1 special, but it has a very, very special meaning. These are these two cars right here. This is the 2020 versions of William Byron and Ryan Blaney's cars from the second race of the season at Auto Club Speedway. It was a very, very tragic event that happened a few days prior when NBA legend Kobe Bryant unfortunately lost his life in a helicopter crash. I think it was in Los Angeles, and the NASCAR Cup Series was just heading to California that weekend, so two teams, the 24 Byron, which one of Kobe Bryant's iconic numbers, and the 12 of Ryan Blaney, both decided to run special purple and yellow versions of their cars to commemorate the iconic basketball legend. So I'll start with the Blaney one here first, but this is the number 12 body armor Kobe Bryant tribute, I guess if you want to call it that. Yeah, body armor tribute. I love this car so much. The yellow and like the fading from yellow to purple is absolutely gorgeous on this car. I love how it just works. The white tires work especially well with this car. And honestly, I wish that this was the primary throughout the entirety of the 2020 season for this car. Because man, does it look so good. The design of it works so incredibly well compared to how the other body armor car looked, which already looked incredible as is, but this just added something special to it that really wasn't found on any of the body armor cars from the Gen 6 era. So really, really happy that they did a tribute, that the number 12 team did this tribute, a very special tribute, and glad to have this in my collection. The other one of these was this one, the 24 car of William Byron, who also, their team, the Exalted team, also did an incredible tribute to Kobe Bryant as well. This one incorporates the yellow and purple as well, which was the colors of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is the team Kobe Bryant played for. Really, really like this car as well. I think they had just came off one of the Daytona 500 paint scheme, which was like some random like teal, blue, and orange looking car. So to go from that to this was a huge, in my personal opinion, glow up. And it looks really, really good as well. I like the Blaney one more, as it feels more complete with the yellow and purple and no really any other colors on top of it. But this one also looks really good. Actually, I really like the dark purple lines down here. If this purple base was used down here, I think it would be, my personal opinion, a little bit better than the Blaney one, but it's still so good to look at these cars and remember such an iconic legend will forever live on in these incredible works of art. So glad that these two teams both kind of simultaneously did an incredible tribute to such a important legend in basketball. So such a special tribute. One of the few races before the COVID-19 shutdown happened as well. So really cool to see these two do a class act and do an incredible tribute. So, all right, on to more lighter notes, I guess. Another tribute, but if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. And this is a subathon, so every subscriber gained during the stream is another car. So make sure you subscribe, because more Diecast will be shown off if you subscribe. Like these two, again, another 2-for-1 special here. Let me focus the camera. All right, this is one of the most probably iconic throwbacks from last year's season. This is the Talladega Nights duo of Ryan Preece's Wonder Bread car, based on the iconic Ricky Bobby number 26 Wonder Bread car, and Chase Briscoe's number 14 Old Spice car, based on the number 47 car of Cal Naughton Jr. What an incredible 2-pack of cars in this one collection. I really like the box. Before we get to the diecast, so let's look at the box here. But really like how they separated it into 2 different like categories on this car. You have the 14 side over here with the 14's Old Spice design, and the 41's design over here with the white and the blue and all the flame, different colored flames. So here on the front you can see the 2 numbers. I really like this. Is kind of like this at the top right here is for I know they sold these in the Lionel Racing shop in Nashville, so I think these were to hang on shelves. It was made it a lot easier technically to store, but really like how they did this box. Honestly, it's very clean, very colorful, and I really like that it's not just 2 cars. It wasn't when it came in, I thought it was going to be 2 different cars wrapped, like just put in a box, and there was going to be like, oh, here's your duo set. But I really appreciate how they did sets like these. It makes it a lot better. So first up here is the Ryan Preece car, of course, and also what an incredible recreation of a car that's almost 20 years old at this point. They did a perfect job of recreating this onto the next gen body here. Let me get a closer view. There we go. The yellow 41, the Wonder Bread sponsor, everything is identical to how that car looked in the movie. Love the flames running down the side. It just works incredibly well. One thing that just kind of concerns me, or it kind of bugs me, is the amount of empty space right there. But you can't really do anything because the numbers moved up so much to where you can't fill in that space with anything without taking away from the design. But number being put in the middle would have been a little bit better, or probably a lot better. But that's how it is nowadays, and I think they did a great job with this design. And the same goes for Chase Briscoe's number 14 here, the Old Spice machine. The red and the blue, again, another perfect recreation of such an iconic car from that movie. It just looks incredible, and I'm honestly shocked that they got these 2 sponsors to come back aboard for this race. I know a year later that Wonder Bread did end up coming back, but Old Spice didn't. But the Wonder Bread car was an entirely different design, so the Old Spice machine looks really, really cool, honestly. Glad that they ended up making these cars. I'm glad people did put in the work and I'm glad people did buy these because they got to be made in production, which I was kind of scared that they wouldn't. But once again, it's from such an iconic movie that it wouldn't. I think it would be really, really odd if these 2 cars didn't get made. So glad that both of these are incredible tributes, I'd say, to such an iconic movie of when NASCAR was kind of in its peak of popularity. So the 14, let's just look at this for a second. The blue kind of suffers from the same problem as the 41, that there's a lot of empty space right here. But once again, the number being moved forward just kind of causes that problem here. You can't really fill it in without taking away from the car. But love the red, the blue. It just works so well, honestly, on this car. Like how they filled in the space over here and down here as well. Just makes it seem more full and just adds to, honestly, the prestige and the beauty of this design in general. So really cool 2-pack of cars. Glad that they got made after all, and definitely worth getting these if you haven't already. So just a reminder for anybody just tuning in, this is a subathon, so every subscriber gained during the stream is another card added to the pile. So make sure you are subscribing. And this one, once again, we have another 2-pack of cards, actually, which kind of funny at this point. But this one is a kind of a weird one, honestly. But this is the Daytona 50 Years pack, which was created in 2008 for the 50th anniversary of the Daytona 500. And it looks like we did gain a subscriber. So guess what? That is an extra car. Actually, it will be 3 cars because I have a special little package over there that I haven't shown off at all yet. So make sure you stick around to see that. So this is the 50th year anniversary for Jimmy Johnson's, or this is a 50-year anniversary pack, which includes Jimmy Johnson's number 48 Lowe's car. So let's take a look at that right now. So, or before that, let's look at this. This is the kind of like a book, if you want to call it that. Starts off here on the left-hand side with all of the names of winners of the Daytona 500, which include Lee Petty, as you can see there, Junior Johnson, Richard Petty, AJ Foyt, Benny Parsons, David Pearson, and so many more, all the way up to, if I remember correctly, 2007. Yes, Kevin Harvick is the last one listed here. That's on the left-hand side. Oops. That's on the left-hand side here. On the right-hand side are the two diecasts here, which is Jimmy Johnson's number 48 Lowe's car, which is indeed a COT, as you can see right there, the rear wing, and it is the COT version of that design. This was the first year that the COT was technically implemented as a mandatory car. So it is really, really cool to see that. To have actually a COT, because I think I only have one 1/64 scale car that is a COT. I don't really have many of them in general, but I love the Lowe's design on these cars. It looks really, I love the Lowe's design in general. The ones from I love the 01 to about 2011 versions of these Lowe's cars. Don't get me wrong, the ones after were also really good, but I feel like they hit their peak at this time. They're really, really nice to look at, and just to have one in my collection is also really cool. So then you have down here the Daytona 50th anniversary car here. Let me focus in on for it. There you go. This is the 50th year anniversary car for 2008. I really like this promo car actually because it's just really, really clean. I love the colors on it. It's not overly over the top like some of the other promo cars are. Let me turn it around like this so you can let's look at the side over here. Alright, here's a zoom in. There we go, that's better. So yeah, the colors on this thing are on point. Blue, red, some gold on the side as well. Just looks really, really good. I like how it says Daytona on the back as well. On the deck lid, it looks pretty good. So once again, a really, really bizarre item to have, but it just is something to remember the past of. So, really like it. On the top here, it says 48. This is Winner's Circle, which actually came back last year, or was it this year? I think it's last year when this came back. So, when Winner's Circle first came back. So, really cool thing to have. Glad to have it. Just to remember the past. And Jimmy Johnson is one of my favorite drivers. So, definitely worth. I don't know how much these go for nowadays, but if you haven't got one, I'd probably consider getting one because it's actually pretty decent deal if you get it for a decent deal. Then it's pretty cool because you get two cars on one, and Jimmy Johnson is not driving the Lowe's car anymore. Hasn't been for a long time, so probably a cool collectible to have. All right, so this is the second to last car unless some more people subscribe. So next one is actually something I got during Black Friday from the RFK Racing shop. So definitely a shout out to them because they had some incredible deals, 50% off some of their cars. So this next car is a 124, which is the first one I've shown on the stream. Make sure to subscribe as you will see some more 124s if the stream does continue. So this is the next car right here. Let me focus in on that. All right. So this is Chris Buescher's 2023 Coke 0400 winning car, the Fifth Third Bank car, covered in confetti. And this is one of the cars I've had on my wish list for a really, really long time. And to finally have it is really, really cool, honestly. I got to see this finish. I saw this finish live on TV, and it was incredible, honestly. Buescher is one of my favorite drivers now. I have three favorite drivers, which are Chastain, Busch, and Buescher. So, Chris Buescher, this is my first ever diecast of him, and to have one after all this time is actually really, really cool. I love the Fifth Third design, honestly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, and that's definitely been the motto with this car because it has stayed the same for the past couple of years. And honestly, it doesn't have to change because it looks that good. So, let's open this bad boy up. It's kind of hard. There we go. All right. take this out, and there is some things that do come with this car. So let me move the box over here. And to begin with, here we have this Chris Buescher 2023 win card. Let me focus in real quick. There we go. Chris Buescher's Coke Zero 400 winner. He did end up winning the Coke Zero 400 after there was a red. I think Kevin Harvick was leading late into the race, and Ryan Preece had his hellacious accident with like 5 laps to go, if I want to say, and ended up red flagging the race. And who would have guessed that Chris Buescher and his teammate and owner Brad Keselowski would end up getting a 1-2 finish at the World Center of Racing? So it was really cool to see that. Honestly, here is the card. Time of the race. It took 2 hours and 34 minutes to complete. Buescher started in 11th, and he led 2 laps, which I think were the final 2 laps of the race, actually, and won by just under a tenth of a second over his teammate and owner, Brad Keselowski. So here we go. Let me do that. There we go. So what an incredible design this is, honestly. I love the fifth third bank design on this car. It just is extremely clean, honestly. If you can get any, RFK Racing has some of the best designs in all of NASCAR. So let me zoom in here. So this is the front end of the car. As you can already see, it is covered in confetti everywhere on this car. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about this car, is the fact that there is confetti everywhere on this thing. You got on the windshield, on the back, on the rear windshield, on the deck lid, on the sides, everywhere that you can see has this confetti on there. So this is just honestly such a cool design to have. We can see here on the right hand side, if I'll just hold it up and hit the focus button real quick. There we go. This happened during the 75th anniversary of NASCAR, so you can see the little emblem right there, the diamond, and it honestly looks so cool. I love all the red and white confetti. I feel like it really works with this design. It's all over the tires as well, which I don't really see often with these cars. Just the light, it goes from white to like a tealish blue to then a darker blue in the back, and the red and white confetti, honestly, it works with this design. You can see all like let me, if I zoom in a little bit right here. Come on, camera. There we go. That's a little bit better. So you can see right there, there's a little bit of like scratch marks right there from the race. It just, and dust and grime, and it just looks so good. Glad to finally have this car in a collection, honestly. Here's what the roof looks like. As you could just see, confetti overload. Hey, look at that. Another subscriber gained. We are adding another car to this list. So make sure you stick around for what that mystery car will end up being. But I love the fifth third bank design, honestly. It just looks so good. Here's what the rear of it looks like. You can see here the dark blue, a little bit of teal and white. Really good looking. I love the white spoiler, honestly. Goes really well with it. And you can see here on the back, absolutely covered. And that's another thing. I love confetti cars, honestly. One of my favorite things is to collect cars that have an abundance of confetti on them. And this is another one that does actually have it. So that was one of the incentives to getting this. Also because it's a Chris Buescher car. So love the confetti dripping down the side right here. It is just everywhere that you could see here. So let me try and open the engine up real quick. Kind of hard to open the engines here on these next gens because they are a little bit, there we go, a little bit harder to open than some of the Gen 6s in my opinion. But here's what the engine looks like. It's pretty bland, honestly, because that's how the next gen engines look nowadays, or that's how they mostly look nowadays, actually. But still looks really cool. Honestly, love the detail that's on this car. Lionel Racing, I think, did a great job. I know this took so much time and effort to make because they had to place every single piece of confetti on here. So, shout out to the RFK Racing shop for this car was on for half off. Honestly, half off. It is an incredible deal. and it was so cool. Also, the number is reflective, which is also really, really cool to see. So definitely recommend getting one of these cars if you haven't already, because it is honestly worth the money to get one of these. I'd recommend actually holding off maybe until until another sale possibly happens, because it is kind of expensive. I think $90 is the normal price of one of these, but if you can find one for sale and for like 30-40% off, definitely consider getting one of these because it is worth the money. So this is the Chris Buescher 2023 Coke Zero win, and we got two more cars actually to show today. So I'm going to turn off the mic for a second and go grab one of the other surprise reveals today. So make sure you subscribe if you are still here. If you keep adding subscribers, the more you up. Oh no. Looks like my camera just died. That's not good. Let me see something. Hold on. That is not good. I'm gonna see if I can try and. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. It looks like. All right, so I should probably pick this off tomorrow. I think I'm gonna be able to keep going tomorrow, but yeah, that's a bummer, honestly. I saw a low battery, but I didn't think it was gonna get that bad. So, all right, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in today. I hope you have an incredible day. Thank you everybody for subscribing. I promise that I'll probably pick this up again tomorrow, if not Friday for sure. And I'll see you all in the next time. Take care.